All right. So, at this point, let me pull up something here real quick. If we want to introduce your characters to each other,
Dave, why don't you go first?
Okay. Let's see. My name is Hotaru. I'm a monkey thief, and my parents were murdered, and I am going to eventually avenge their deaths. Um, in the process of that, I'm trying to make myself as wealthy as possible by stealing from the rich and giving to myself.
I'll just shoot you in the leg again, aren't you?
That's my plan.
I am I am a Tanuki Mikey, a raccoon dog priest, who, as part of his vows, has surrendered to the whims of fate until he is worthy to return to the temple. His sole purpose is to do great things. There is no great. There's no qualification on great. They just have to be great.
I'm a Yumi, the rat, a undercover bodyguard. So I usually go ahead of the protectee and do crowd infiltration. Keep an eye on people.
okay. So we'll see. How did the three of you come to be wandering together? Because at this point, you have been traveling for some time, and very often the traveling between there are small roadside shrines, which I was surprised to find are a real thing. Just these sort of roadside shrines people go in and you can kind of crash at, and some people along the road will be there. They're pretty much abandoned but kept up by the people who come through. But we'll come up with how the three of you know each other and why we have a priest, undercover ninja, or undercover agent, and a thief traveling together.
Well, one day in the market, I was trying to pickpocket to make my way through the city to buy some food, and I tried to pickpocket Tanuki, and he caught me. And instead of turning me over to the authorities, he essentially made me swear fealty to help him on his day-to-day quests. So I figured, it's better than prison. And if I need to run away later, I can always do that. He's pretty slow. I'm pretty fast. So I can just climb a tree and get away.
Absolutely, I saw this as fate intervening in my life and presenting me with a challenge that I need to overcome. And if I can overcome this challenge, perhaps it will be a great enough feat that I am worthy to return to the temple. But why then is there a ninja among us?
I think I was the one that was supposed to be protecting Totoro's father, and I failed to assess the threat in the crowd, and I'm part of the reason that our protection didn't work. So I feel beholden to him when I ran across him again, and he was grown up and about, and actually now trying to avenge that. I kind of felt a duty to help him.
And I'm aware that I don't remember him from my childhood, so he's just another dude.
Who is the strange rat who is traveling with us?
Sure.
And because I'm surrendered to the whims of fate, I simply accept it that this guy's followed. This rat has decided to. It's another part of my burden. The great challenge I must overcome.
Put up with these people.
He had snacks. We were like, all right, whatever.
I kind of just figured he's like a mentor. He's very patient with me for some reason, and most people aren't. So yeah, I let him hang around.
In fact, I piss a lot. I piss a weird amount of people off. Okay. And there's also, you'll notice on the map right next to Japan, there is the list of, these are essentially the common the common moves. This one doesn't have a ton of moves like a lot of Apocalypse World games. It keeps it relatively like light as far as those things go. You got read a situation, negotiate, overcome, no lore, and then you've got like your other. There's other times you might roll for certain things, but then you got your special special stats or your special moves. Okay, so you have been traveling for a few days, and there actually has not been like any roadside shrines on the way that you're going towards, and there was a bit of rain the day before, so it's been a little miserable the last day or so. One point you crest a hill, and there sort of as the road smooths out and starts going steady again, you see that there is a male middle-aged dog who is being beaten up by several. You got several people around him, about a crew of 4 various species and such that are sitting there kicking him. He's like, you're gonna do what you're told.
Bullies. I don't like bullies.
And he's big. Don't. I already gave my answer. I'm not. They start kicking him.
Well, it seems that another glorious purpose has been thrust upon me. Come, join in my burden, Hotaru Ayumi.
Is there a tree nearby?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm going to scamper up a tree
Mm-hmm.
and prepare to use my, what's it called again? My stalking as my unique move, and my Ranto Shogi Koyika, whatever, rope with a blade,
Mm-hmm.
and try to trip up a couple of those standing around doing the kicking.
Okay. Yes, as you kind of head over. Also, one thing to make this a little bit easier, if you go to the collections tab, so on the tabs on the right hand side, there's macros at the top. The one that just says roll. If you click that, all you got to do to roll is just literally click the roll button that'll appear on the lower left.
Okay. Let me find the one that says roll.
So it'll be the second one on there.
Yeah, I don't have the pre-existing ones.
On the one that says collection, there's not one that says roll there.
There's a collection.
So
No, I mean, I tried creating my own because I don't see an existing role.
there's not one in the macros bar. Is that just for me, or does that go for everybody?
My macros bar has decks and rollable tables.
Oh no, are you looking in a character sheet or?
No, I'm looking over on the roll 20.
And this is over on the collection.
Is that the one that looks like a dotted list?
Yeah, like a bullet list.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
It has decks, and there's no roll on there.
Oh, I thought there was a way to share that.
I'm pretty sure it's for Dusk City Outlaws, because there's Dusk Quirks, Dusk Time, playing cards. There's Don't Rest Your Head. I'm not seeing anything. Well, there's a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah, those are the decks. And there's not a macro thing at the top.
I don't know. It says macro.
It says add.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've got a couple things there. I thought that would go for everybody. If you want to create one, I'll just put the. Whoops. Here, let me. If you want to create one, take the slash out. Otherwise, you can just do roll. Damn it.
I just created one for each of my possibilities. +1, -1, 0.
What do you type in? Just
Here, I will send it via the chat because via Facebook, because every time I try to type it in, it just goes, all right, we're gonna make that roll, and I try to remove the slash. Or actually, I think we have to remove the slash. Nope, it still asks me to do the input value. Yeah, so otherwise you do 2d6 and then add the thing in there. Anyway. All right, so you are heading up there?
yep.
Okay, so one thing that a couple things with this is you end up as certain things happen in the story, you'll get story points, and a lot of times combat is you make a roll and add story points if you're doing an attack move. That is sort of the basic thing with an attack. But you're using the Ranto, the fighting.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, what you want to go ahead and do is roll a describe what you're doing and go ahead and roll the 2 dice. And said for combat, you add your story points, which as of yet you don't have. These are, however, weak enemies.
Okay.
Well, yeah, they're up against us.
Just roll that. Dang it. Now I click on that, and it's... There we go.
You use the hashtag with the name of the macro. Otherwise, you would do /roll if you're going to.
Oh. Should be a / roll. Okay.
Or if you give your macro a name, then you can do pound whatever the name is.
Let me get the / in there. Hold on. Okay, let's try that again. Any changes? Did that work? No? What did I do wrong?
I'm going to try mine out.
Oh, you get rid of the hashtag.
Okay.
Yeah, so or you can just hit /roll 2d6.
I'm just trying mine out to make sure they work. No.
Someone has ++1. Mikey, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to figure it out.
You can't cheat like that, man.
I didn't. I don't know what you're talking
Get rid of the /.
Yeah, or if you just like what it is I would copy that into, if you go to macros, hit add, and then just copy what I put in there.
Exactly what you put in the Facebook thing.
Yeah, it should, because that's literally what I've got for mine.
All right, I got mine working.
And then hit in bar, and then it should appear at the bottom.
So here's like a little screen capture.
And then what's my modifier on that? Do I have one? I'll just put 1 just because. That work? I did exactly what you said. I can't believe this.
Take out the hash. There should not be a hashtag.
Yeah, and then there isn't one on mine.
Did you click the thing that said in bar, like where it shows in bar, where you just have to click the bar?
Okay. It says in bar, so where in the bar is it?
So did you add it as a macro?
Yeah.
All right, so down under our names on the lower left-hand side of the screen, you'll see.
Right. Yeah,
Click that button.
I did. And then it asks for a modifier, and I'm not putting anything, and I put submit, and that's what's popping up.
Okay, so I think what you have in there should, if you just paste that /roll, I don't know why the hashtag is there.
I don't either.
The hash.
So like when I
Click on
click
it
on it to edit it, there's no hashtag. Click edit. Try it again.
Did you give it a name?
No, I did not.
Oh yeah, I give it a name. That might be part of the problem.
Oh, I know what's happening. Okay, I'm an idiot. The actions is where it needs to be. All right, let's try this again. That work? Yeah. Roll a 10. Okay. See, I I pasted it into where the name is supposed to be.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's probably why it's going. I don't know what to do.
Yeah. So I'm gonna click
So
roll.
there was a special when we rolled doubles.
It's
oh yeah, it's
just like Monopoly. You get out of jail free.
Yeah. So one of the things you can do is you can use your special for your you can use the special for your weapon.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So what is it? What is it? So as you're kind of going up above them, what is it that you're doing?
I'm using my my weapon, my shogi, to try to take the legs out from underneath one and like yank him up so he's, either hanging in the tree or just knock him off his feet.
Okay. And what is your so what is the special for that? What is it? What does it tell you that it does?
Aim? No, wait. Is that a special?
The special for your weapon. So if you go back to like your weapon with the
You score a strong hit on a foe of your choice. and your character falls back to a recovered position. Covered characters cannot be targeted by some enemies, especially when there are exposed characters on
Okay.
the field.
So basically, if you want to hit that and then remain
Yeah,
kind of in
and
that
then
place.
I'm going to go for another one here in a minute.
Yeah, so and, like these are weak enemies, so a strong hit takes out a weak enemy very, very quickly.
Okay, so
And you bring them up in the tree with you.
if I can, or at least so he's dangling for a second.
Yeah. Well, we'll say, and he goes, and you actually manage to just like put in there, so you're still up there. They are not able to see what you're doing. What do the rest of you do?
I'm approaching them calmly with my bow staff out. Well, I use my bow staff as a walking stick, and I'm just kind of I was literally just going to walk up and talk to them, and apparently,
What did it take? That just happened. Do you want to talk to them?
I was walking up kind of limping with my bow staff as a walking, playing the old man sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
certainly. So he lashes out with his chain blade and trips one, or completely knocks them out.
It sounds like he actually goes. He did the Batman thing where it comes out, grabs them, and brings them up in the tree, and they look up and they can't see because he. So you use your retreat so you can retreat back and you're not seeing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Excellent. So I walk up and say, and I'm addressing the dog. What are the other three that are there?
You've got a fox, a rhino, and another dog.
I completely ignore those three and look at the young dog and say, I am Tanuki Maiki. How may I be of service?
Please, I can pay you. They started. They just attacked me. I was on my way to a shrine.
I have not seen a shrine in too long. I look up at them and say, what is the purpose of your assault on this young dog?
At that point, they kind of look at you and they're like, and the other ones are kind of looking to see where their friend went, and one of them, the rhino, just goes, "This had nothing to do with you, priest. You should get the hell back." Now, are you trying? Do you want to make like an intimidate thing or negotiate?
Sure, I'll negotiate with them.
Okay.
I'm probably really bad at it.
Yep. So what you want to do here is it's roll plus your negotiation.
All right,
if
so
that's
it's
what you're
just
doing.
roll plus 0. So roll, submit. I got a 6. So I look at them and I say, well, this is absurd. You should step away from this young man before something untoward happens to you.
And then the other two have kind of gotten back to back with him, and he pulls out a knife, and he goes, I don't know who you're with, but one of our guys is already gone, because he has 6 as a miss.
Yeah, sure. I figured it was going to be bad.
Yeah. And then we've got Yumi.
I'm going to read the situation.
Okay. Go ahead and make a roll plus initiative.
All right. So I want to know what is the best way to deal with these people, and I'm kind of focusing on like without death, not necessarily with violence, but without death.
You've seen people like this before. What was your total?
8.
8. Yeah, that's one question. People like this, all they understand is violence. Now, it's one of those things where they're weak enough enemies that if you were to hit them, like you can knock them unconscious, not necessarily kill them. Like this is one where if a samurai, for example, might attack them with the sword still sheathed. Like if you use like back of the one of them's already like hanging in the trees. If you were to use like the you've got a bow staff, right?
Yes.
Yeah, like with the bow staff, you can knock them around and get them essentially unable to come back or unwilling to come back after you.
Okay, so instead of killing them, I could just demoralize them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, at this point, because the two of you, so at this point, one thing you've got is essentially like how your characters are fictional. Like, are you exposed? Are you flanking? Like, for example, right now, David's covered, so we've got Hataru up in there, not be able to see it. Mikey, it sounds like you are currently exposed.
I am absolutely exposed.
Yep.
I'm just standing there.
And so, yeah, then it comes to Yomi. You're either like basically right next to him, so you're also like exposed. Just means sort of how many can come after you.
I'm maintaining my 6 foot distance from him.
Okay, so flanking.
I'm fully exposed, but as I was walking up, I was kind of leaning on the staff, trying to do like the old man kind of impersonation. So
Okay.
underestimate me a little bit.
Yeah. So the one that disappeared. So there's really only the two of you to come after. One of them, like as they charge, one of them comes after you, Paul, and he's got like a club with him. The other two, one with a knife and all the other one with also sort of a truncheon, comes after you, Mikey.
Great.
So for here, this is like I said, like Apocalypse World. I don't actually roll the dice. So, Mikey, you're against a group of weak enemies. So are you dodging the attack or countering?
I'm going to counter the attack.
Okay. So you want to go ahead, roll your attack move.
Let me look over here. My attack move.
And Paul, are you?
I'm gonna try to disarm the one that's coming after me. Maybe trip him, something like that.
Okay. Also, yeah, this sounds like a counterattack. So you'll also make your attack move.
So this would be righteousness.
Or is it raw?
Endurance, willpower, strength, or just roll +0?
Oh, it's +0 because what you do is you add for the combat stuff. You add the story points that you have.
Okay.
So
Do
what
we
do you
have
have?
any story points?
Not as of yet. You will soon.
There we go. I rolled a 0 because I rolled a 1, so I suffer a -4 penalty
Oh.
because I'm unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
I told you, Paul. I'll be rolling that 1.
Yeah. So
Oh wait, 0 isn't even on the chart, man.
it's
Die?
no hits. Yeah. So that normally these are not ones that like how do you screw up a little bit because. Like, normally, these are not ones you'd have too much of a problem with. What happens that they actually get a little bit of the advantage on you?
As I go to raise my bow staff and I start twirling it magnificently, it twirls completely out of my hands and lands in the tree next to Hotaru. Like
give
lodges right next to him in the branches.
Give yourself 1 setback point.
Okay.
And then just roll 2d6 -1 to see where you fall.
Where do I put setback points?
Setback is the third one underneath, like schooling, righteousness, negotiation. You have story, support, and setback. I'm sorry, everyone, give yourself 1 support. Sorry about that. You all start off with 1 support.
All right.
And that you can spend to give another friend to help them give them a +1 to the roll they just made.
Okay.
So
how do we make friends?
Hmm?
How do we make friends? I need friends.
Yeah, then Mikey, which was rolled 2d6 and then -1. The little chart that it goes with is directly underneath because you use 2d6 -1 because that's your current setback total.
All right, so that's 7.
Overcoming adversity, there is no effect. Yeah, so you like, yeah.
So I go. Oh.
Yeah, the two of them, like the club, it actually also kind of hit as it went kind of flying. The guy with the knife is like coming in front of you, but you managed not to actually get struck by any of that. And then Paul.
Yeah, so I guess I'm gonna do my counter attack. All right. Well, not off to a great start.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I try to like sidestep him and then bring my staff up to hit his wrist to disarm him, and did not notice that there was a rock right next to me, and I think I just tripped over it and fell down.
Mm-hmm. Wait, what did you roll?
3.
And
Okay,
you thought I was bad.
So you're having a bit of a rough time here.
No, we are luring them into a false sense of security.
Oh, so false. So very. Because what they don't know is in the tree, there's somebody who can do stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'll do the same thing Mikey just did. You were going to take a little bit of damage.
All right. And our damage, is that tracked somewhere?
You hit.
You take one setback, and then you roll.
So that is the damage. Okay, so my setback roll, is 4, and I'm not seeing where the setback roll.
Weak suffering impair one of your attributes if you have more than 3 setback. Drop total
there
to
it is.
3. It is directly beneath it. Yeah.
Yeah. So then, what you want to do is you want to basically tag one. What is that? It attributes in a pair. Any roll of doubles becomes a complication.
Oh,
Like if you do setback itself, that's how you can possibly die. So I wouldn't tick that one.
which one?
Like the one that says tragic for setback. That one,
Okay.
if your setback is tagged and you get doubles, that's the point where you might die.
Okay. Well, I think if I trip, then tagging initiative is probably makes sense.
Okay. Let's go ahead and click on that.
All right.
Next turn. Do we still want to go? Dave,
Yeah, let's effective guy, bumbling idiot, and crappy ninja. It's
All right. I'm gonna try to hold on a second. What was the
We're boosting Dave's confidence.
evaluate while they're doing their thing. I was trying to figure out who the biggest threat is.
These are ones you saw pretty. Like these are not particularly good fighters. This is like honestly, like you. This is not going as well as it should have. Like you're looking back.
Okay.
Like, they're having some bad luck. All three of these are weak enemies.
All right, I'm gonna attempt the same thing again.
Okay.
And let me just roll.
I'm assuming is it one of the ones like that's
Yeah, I got a
Mikey?
modifier
Okay.
+1, I believe. Let me make sure before I roll it. Let me double check.
Can I use my support point after he rolls?
Yeah, that's actually what it's for. It gives you like a +1 back.
All right. So if you need it, I'll add my support point to your roll, Dave.
Yeah. And for the most part, with you when you roll for attack, you roll and add your story points.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, 7.
Okay. So the 7 versus that weak enemy, and you're grabbing him and then ripping him up.
Yep, same thing.
You rip him up out of it. Yeah, he like hits his head sort of on the ground, and now 7 would be a weak hit against someone else, but it's a weak enemy, so that actually takes him out. So yeah, this is the guy that's just about to like club Mikey sort of down, and he goes bam, and then is unconscious and then flung up into the trees.
Can I also, before I'm done, grab Mikey's bow staff and toss it back to him?
Yeah. All right. Who wants to go next?
Go ahead, Ayumi.
All right. So
stand there smiling mildly, catching my
After
bow
you,
staff.
sir. No, after you.
I'm gonna, please, my good sir, please. I'm gonna roll out of the way, and as I come out of the roll, try to hit the shuriken to try to disarm him again.
Okay.
So since I'm at what, a -1 for, if my attribute is impaired, I subtract?
You don't subtract anything from it. It just means that if
Okay.
doubles come up, that's how sort of bad things start to happen.
Okay. All right. So 8.
Okay, so
And,
you shurikened him?
yeah, but not fatally. I'm more like trying to maybe in the wrist or on the hand, disarming
Okay.
him.
You know, and he falls down. The shuriken's like through, like partway through the hand. You can see it poking out the other side. He's like, and he is down. Mikey.
Yeah. Can I make an overcome roll to demand their surrender? Would that be that?
Yeah, this one, the one that's left.
Yes. Yeah. But very mildly, suggesting that now would be the time that you should run away.
Okay, go ahead, make a roll
I
plus
will trip
righteousness.
second time.
So I get to +1 because it's righteousness, right?
Yep.
I got a 7.
All right. So yeah, the thing is that's a weak command or a strong compromise. This is a weak enemy, so that like the way it goes, you got like weak enemies, strong enemies, grand enemies, and then sometimes it depends if they're in groups or if they're alone. So with weak ones, it's pretty easy to take out. Like even up to a 6 would still work at this point.
Now is the time when you should run away.
He just goes, and it's one of those things where like he's turned his back and started running, and the knife almost seems to just hang in the air for like a second after he goes, and it just like falls down to the dirt, and then you just hear like the panicked, oh thank God, you saved me.
What is back? Get +1 back, +3 back.
Oh, what those means is you spend it and it affects the roll you just made.
Okay.
So it's like, you know how Apocalypse World has a lot of like +1 forward.
Exactly. Okay,
Like
gotcha.
this will have +1 forward, but then it also has like those +1 back. One thing you'll notice is a lot of your weapon moves. So you get story points. Those the whole thing is it's supposed to sort of build towards like the climax of the stuff. Like you don't start off with the big huge ones, but you get the story points, which then add to your attack moves. But you'll also notice like most of your attack moves, for example, like I've got Mikey's thing up right now. If he attacks, um, if he gets a miss, he gets a +3 if that's the next thing that he does. So basically, it's like you get those bonuses after a turn or two, if you miss, and then there's some other stuff you can do depending on what you end up rolling. So those
The
bonuses
back is on the last roll you just made.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so back affects the one you just did. You've got support points. You can help each other out for that. I do this to help so and so. Use a support point, and then that gets used to help somebody else. And like when you use a story point, because when you get those, that give you +3 back to your last roll, and then turns into a support point. Yeah, so this guy is. She's like, oh, thank you. And he's like picking himself off the ground.
Does he look like he needs medical help?
Now he got beat up a little bit, but you've definitely seen a lot worse. He goes, I'm Yufuku. Thank you so much. And this guy seems to be like by his dress a fairly well off merchant, and it's very odd that usually don't travel alone. And they'll usually have a bodyguard or something with them when they're traveling.
Well, Yufuku, it is fortuitous that we have happened upon you. You said you were on your way to a shrine. Perhaps we may accompany you.
Oh, I say on my way. I meant I was returning from Hukasa Shrine.
Hukasa Shrine? Alone?
Mikey, make a lore roll since you're a priest.
Sure.
While this is going on, I'm going to scamper down from the tree and let those guys drop.
Yeah. The ones that are still conscious, like, kind of try to pick themselves back up and run. The one that, like, slapped his head on the ground as he pulled him up, he's out.
Yeah.
So it's just
I'm also going to pick his pockets while I'm waiting.
Yeah.
It's just a straight roll, or do I need to add knowledge, life experience?
Plus your schooling.
So, I'm not a good priest. 4.
Yeah, you've heard of the Hukasa Shrine is actually somewhere is not too far from here. It's not the direction you went, but you've heard about it. Yeah, please, I insist. You must. You saved my life. I must give you some hospitality. Please, we have extra rooms. We have a beds to sleep in. We've got warm food.
It sounds delightful.
And he goes like to each of you. I'm Yufuku of Nara, and he starts like shaking everybody's hands who will shake them.
What do you mean of here?
And you introduce yourself, Hutara?
Oh, Hotaru, yes, that is I.
Okay. So he kind of picks himself back up, and then it's like almost stands a little taller as he goes, if you'll follow me, like, you meet my wife and children. And makes his way sort of into town. They're not too far from town. Whoever came after him got him maybe about 25-minute walk out of it. As it kind of comes through the town, you see some other people. At this point, everyone take a story point.
Okay.
Add one? Or?
Yeah, add a story point.
All right, now we won't be tripping and throwing our weapons.
let's not.
Let's not talk.
I can get a -4 and still be at a 0. Add 3 and still only have a 3.
Maybe that's our story.
If I roll 2 1s, I'm at a -6.
Did I say bodyguard? I meant acrobat. I'm an acrobat.
Did I happen to find anything in the pockets of the guy that I?
A little bit of money, not a ton.
Okay, good enough. I'll buy us a couple of bao buns or whatever. I don't know what I'm talking. I don't know Chinese versus Japanese food. I have no idea.
Yeah, as he comes in, other people are walking out. He starts greeting some people. Ah, Shiro, these wandering warriors saved me recently. Like amazingly, you should have. Oh my god, you should have seen them coming from the trees, like disappearing. The amazing work with the bow staff and the. He didn't catch the shuriken because shuriken is sort of a mostly just ninja, which he has not mentioned. It's not, but just bragging about you, kind of all the way sort of to his home. His home itself is really, really nice. As you're kind of looking around, this is probably, if not the nicest place in town, it's fairly close. It does mention, it's like, I'm a rice merchant. Here, come through here. And he opens up like the door and calls, goes, Saiko, Ichiro, Jiro, Kiko. And his family assembles. Saiko's his wife. He's got 2 sons, about 9 and 11, Ichiro and Jiro, and then Kiko, the daughter, is 6. They're kind of like looking out at you, and his wife just is like, "Who have you brought with you?"
Are they all dogs? Like the people are species compatible? Okay.
Oh yeah, they are compatible, but often you'll see families are the same, from the same. Like this village has a lot of dogs in it. Yeah, he just goes. She goes, "Hi, who are all these people? Do you introduce yourselves, sir?"
Of course.
I am Tanuki Maiki.
Kind of bows. Nice to meet you. I'm Saiko.
Are you me? I'll nod my head a little bit.
She's gonna turn. She's like, "You took care of what you were going?" He's like, "Yes, I got accosted by thugs on the way back. These heroes came and saved me. Please, I must insist. Have dinner with us this evening. Place to sleep. I cannot let you travel the road without a roof over your head, or make you pay for an inn when you have done this great deed for me."
Fate cannot always place obstacles and burdens upon us. I would be hard pressed not to accept.
You know,
And as far as what everyone looks like, so we've got, Mikey, you've got the priest's like robes and garments and stuff.
Yes, and I always wear my casa, which is the straw hat.
Mm-hmm.
He's always got it on. He sleeps in it.
Okay. And then for Paul and Dave, how do your characters look?
I'm a rat, a hooded rat, so like a brown grayish body with like a lighter gray on the head.
Mm-hmm.
Wear a gray robe and kind of present myself as like an old man, not quite with like a limp, but slow walking when I'm not actually having a need to appear otherwise.
Okay. And then Dave?
a brownish monkey with the red streak in his hair, kind of like on the side, going down the back, all the way down the back to where his tail meets his butt. I was thinking he's dressed a little like Luke Skywalker in the first film. Some khaki, pants and a what do you call the obi, a white obi.
Okay.
Essentially.
Kiko, the daughter, kind of like comes up to you, Paul, and like just kind of giving you like kind of a weird look because like you look quite a bit older than the other two.
Yeah.
Yeah. She goes,
"Child,
You fought the bandits?
we chased them away."
You're very old. Yufuku goes, Kiko.
Yes, I've tried not to, but I have failed in that as well. I agree with it.
Were you a samurai?
No, child.
Just learn how to fight?
Just an old man that saw someone in need and thought I could help.
And then, like, Yufuku's sort of telling all the stuff that happens that he saw, and Ichiro just sort of turns and looks over at Hotaru with just, like, eyes wide. He goes, You pulled him out of the trees?
It was a rhinoceros. Quite impressive.
He goes, "What?
Trees are great friends.
Is your weapon sort of on? Like they're able to see it?
Yeah.
Did you do it with that?"
Yes. But of course.
He's like, "Oh, can you show us how you did it?" And he kind of grabs his younger brother and like kind of like brings him forward and goes, "Will you try to Jiro?" And Jiro goes, "Yes, try it on me."
Maybe another time. We are weary and hungry.
Okay, and then Psycho looks to Mikey, and you travel in strange company, priest.
I am burdened by the whims of fate. But I have surrendered to my burden until such time I am allowed to return to the temple.
Can I offer you some tea or sake?
Yes.
She kind of takes a moment and goes, and you see her kind of get both, and ask all of you, tea or sake?
Saki.
I'm two-fisting it, sipping tea, slamming sake.
Okay.
I'm surrendering to the whims of fate.
And you don't have to make a choice.
So are we in the town, or are we like kind of on the outskirts?
In the town, like sort of towards the center.
Okay.
Yep, sake for me, definitely.
Tea for me.
Okay. And she goes and kind of makes the stuff, and she's like, "It's been a little while since we've had such colorful guests. Please, if dinner should be ready within an hour."
You are too kind.
Go out with the kids in the backyard and kind of show them some tricks with the rope. Just, I'm going to obviously mute the blade. I don't want to hurt, but yeah.
Do we see like out a window? They said people are just talking. You see one of the kids just, and like the other brother's just like,
Just a pair of legs dangling down.
Do me next.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
yeah. So do you hear them sort of like playing and like as they kind of you're showing them like with like the tree they've got on the property?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Hopefully they don't get hurt too badly.
Yeah. As you're showing them all the stuff that you're doing, you go through and you do that in the back, and the kids think it's amazing. Like just as agile as you are, and I don't know if there's other little like tricks and stuff that you're showing them.
Yeah, he's tricks.
Well, I'm not gonna make you roll for this. This is just sort of like I want you to actually.
Oh, I know. I was just being stupid.
Boom! Take out.
That
one
was
of
to
the
roll
kids.
to see how well you muted the blade.
Yeah. So what was the adventure about? Like what we did after we accidentally killed a merchant's son.
Yeah. The legs come dropping, but the rest of it stays up.
Yeah.
Window is sheeted in red.
Well, I have surrendered to the whims of fate again.
I should get the hell out of here as quickly as possible.
Have you accepted fate as your savior?
I've got a pamphlet. We're doing that. Yufuku kind of sits at one of the tables. I don't do either. Both of you join him.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's rude not to.
He's our host.
Yeah, he goes. Just amazing you came along when you did. There's been so many problems with bandits on the roads lately.
Indeed.
Traveling alone then.
Just to saunter to the shrine. I didn't felt I needed protection of any sort.
Your wife, Saiko?
Mm-hmm.
She asked if you had accomplished what you had set out to do. Was that merely to visit a shrine, or was there other business attached? Forgive my importune questions.
As you see like a little bit of sweat start to beat his brow. I just to visit the shrine, pray to the kami.
Excellent. Sake, tea.
We'll do this one. Paul, do you want to make a roll to read the situation?
Yeah, I was thinking about that because way back at the scene of the battle, I was kind of getting a vibe that this guy was full of shit. But it would have been rude to say so.
Okay.
Is
What
there a
question?
deception afoot?
He got a
Yeah.
9. That's a weak hit. But if I, because I'm asking questions, spend my 1 support point,
Yep. Give him a 10.
he'll have a 10. So I'm going to do that because I'm simply asking innocuous questions designed to elicit answers and responses. But I'm really not the one. I'm just asking questions. I'm making conversation. He's noticing. So I'm spending my story point to make that 9 a 10.
Okay.
Question 1: is there deception afoot?
Yeah, there's a moment where like you do remember like a moment ago that he had like like as you were meeting the wife and such, he kind of rushed into the master bedroom for something, and as he's come back, it's there's been like a pouch that he had with him. Like the pouch is still like the little like almost a satchel is still with him, but it is missing something book sized that had been in it before.
All right, and just kind of looking around the house. I mean, is there anything out of place here? Is there something that doesn't fit with the story we're given, the lifestyle?
Well, everything kind of fits with the lifestyle. The unusual thing is most of the time, it's not unusual for someone to have a bodyguard, particularly or like guards on the premises, particularly as much money as he has. So, a rice merchant like this. Oh, we lost Dave.
He's up in a tree somewhere.
A rice merchant like this is going to have what's not uncommon at this point is they also act a little bit like banks if they have enough money because they basically leave enough like stuff around for samurai. Like they because part of the samurai payment is like enough rice for a family like a year. That's essentially like how some of these things are done. And the rice merchants themselves store it, and they get a little bit of money on top of it. But because of that, it means they tend to have a lot of money. So unless there is protection being done where he's not supposed to be touched by anybody else, it's unusual that he doesn't have guards of some sort.
Okay.
And you've never met a merchant with this much money that didn't have that did not have a guards unless they had someone who was relatively powerful, who was doing protection, and everyone else knew, just don't mess with this guy.
All right. And question 3 is going to be, what's the best way to deal with these people? And that's like in the sense of like, is this something to press now or just kind of wait it out and?
He seems very eager for you to stay this evening. He also had kind of talked you up a lot on the way in. So a lot of people would have known and heard about it. Word spreads pretty quickly in a town this size. And he's been very flattering, kind of open. He seems a little insistent that you stay.
Okay. Well, then I'll add in as Mikey kind of wraps up his questions and just say, well, given the dangers you describe in the area, we would be very happy to accept the protection of your home this evening.
That would be wonderful. And he looks like a little bit relieved.
You see how I did that? See, now he thinks he's protecting us, or he thinks we think that. And now we got him wrapped around our little claws. Those of us that have claws.
Indeed.
Anything in particular that you want to do for like either at dinner or before, like you're given a place to crash?
I just figured that after dinner I'll play flute and entertain people if I'm any good at it. Or even if I'm not.
Yeah, once we wrap up the social part, I'm gonna try to find like a decent sized stick and start carving a Joe staff for the daughter. She seemed kind of intrigued.
Okay. As you're kind of carving that, Dave, are you doing anything in particular?
I'm just still kind of playing with the kids, you know. being goofy, jumpy.
Yeah, so yeah, kind of doing that, and then there actually are 2 guest rooms. As it kind of comes, like there's the kids' rooms, there's 2 guest rooms, and the master bedroom, then a shrine off of that, an outdoor veranda. Um, do you all stay in one, or do you split up?
I can stay in the like I can stay out with the animals. I'm sure there's like a little loft above the something. Might not be a bad idea to have someone outside the house.
I don't mind sharing a bed.
I'll show you what this looks like because I'm sure nothing is going to happen here tonight.
Oh god, he's got a map, dude. We're fucked.
Just to show you.
I'll take the guest room across from the mass. No, I'll take the guest room down by the kids' room.
Okay, so we've got the family.
I figure that if our thief wants to sneak over and find out what book-shaped object was in the satchel, being in the room across would probably be easier.
Sure. I would love to do that when everyone's asleep.
Okay. So, Mikey, you said you're up by the guest room?
Yes, I'm. Which one of these is me?
Oh, none of those. Those.
None of those.
They have nothing to do with anything. I can't imagine why.
Okay.
They might be important.
I'm in this guest room.
Okay. And so, yeah, Mikey's there. And then our thief is over here.
Yep.
And it sounded like you... Well, one thing you're aware of, Paul, is he's probably going to... Do you tell him you're going to sleep, like, outside?
Well, like out in that veranda adjacent to the guest room, is there like a little animal, like a pen or barn or something?
No, it's one that's in town too. He's the rice merchant, so he doesn't have to have like all that stuff around.
Okay, then yeah, I'll just whichever room I wind up in, I guess.
Okay. Well, the thing is, I didn't know if you wanted to, if you told him you're going to sleep outside, or if you just wanted to say you're in a room and then leave to sleep outside, or do you want to stay in one of the rooms?
Yeah, I think I'll follow Dave or I'll follow Hatoru into a room, but then kind of sneak outside.
Okay. So yeah, you sneak outside. So night comes after you've eaten, you've done all of that. You played flutes. You carved kind of a joe stick. The daughter was sort of like practicing with it.
Doing the carving for a few hours.
Mm-hmm. And it sounds like that night when everyone's asleep, it sounded like Hataru, you're gonna take a look.
Yep. Do I need to roll for my thief abilities?
Yeah, I think we roll your stalking, I believe.
Let me double check something here.
Yep, yeah, be your stalking.
Yep. All right. Do I have a... I can't remember. Do I have a...
Is that his unique move?
Yeah.
Stalking?
Do I add something?
Let me check that real quick.
Not seeing anything. Only if I roll high, then I get some bonuses. So I guess it's just a roll. I'll take that 7. And it says if you get up to a 6 or up to a 9, a strong clue about a person of interest, or follow a strong target without being seen, or flee, break up. So we get a strong clue about a person of interest.
Okay.
But if you spent a story point, you would have a 10.
No, because I only rolled a 7.
Right, but a story point adds 3.
Oh, it does. Oh.
Yeah.
So it turns into a support.
If you want to, I'm just throwing your options there.
Oh, that sounds like a good idea. Let's do that.
Just for reference, that would be an 8, right? Because he has a story point currently. I mean, that doesn't affect the roll, but just for knowing going forward.
Yeah, that one. I'm trying to double check a little something on that because I'm looking for what gets added to those ones. And it makes sense that it's story points for our purposes here. Let's say that it goes to both your unique. I know it goes to your combat. But let's say it goes to your unique one as well.
Okay.
Yeah, this is one that it's a little like it. Some of the stuff works a little bit differently than other ones.
So that would be an 8, which would be score a weak hit area.
No, it'd be a strong clue on my unique move.
Sure.
So
Because it would be up to 9.
nine
And
is get a strong
the other
three.
possibility is if it would be 8. Yeah. So if how many people who already used their that point?
I have used my support point.
Okay. Yeah, I was saying that like if both of you had the support points, you actually both can spend them. If you know he's going to be doing that, you could do some stuff to help.
I already bumbled my way through helping Paul.
Yep.
Well, and I've also got teamwork, so I think I could possibly do that without.
Oh yeah, what is
Like
it? What is your teamwork move?
So I work well with groups up to 6. I can spend a story point to give them +3, or move one of my story points to support, then give a story point to a friend or assist a friend for 2. So if I'm kind of like outside and I kind of see him getting up and wandering around, I might just kind of poke an eye on him and
Keep an eye on the owners so they don't come across the hall and catch me.
Okay.
yeah. So let's see what that does for us.
9.
All right. I think I'll give him +2 forward. Or wait, he already rolled though.
No, well, yeah, like, but that would still put me with the story point at 10.
Forward would go on your next roll.
Yeah.
Oh, on my next roll.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's one you actually have to do that before.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so we'll just say, are you spending the story point, or are you using the one where you get the one bit of information?
I'll go ahead and spend the story point.
Okay, so what does that give you for that one?
10 or
Which-
11.
11.
What's the description there for yours?
It says a 10 or more get a grand clue about a person of interest.
Okay, you kind of go into the shrine, and there's and then you're able to like look and sneak into the room while the two of them are sleeping, and you do find a book, and as you take it out, it's a ledger, and as you're looking through, these are the debts that people owe, and on one of them you see that there's Lord Akumaru, and he put a note on there, no more debts, like not to lend money
Yeah,
anymore.
no more lending.
Yeah, but then there's a thing to a name, Sosei no Chushin. You've heard of this person, the band of a leader of Ikoiki, which is a bandit group that is opposed to the rule of the shogunate and the emperor. And this guy has been funneling some money their way. So Lord Akamuru is one that he's refusing to lend money to. Lord Akamuru is loyalist. And then it is Chushin, who he also who he was giving money to. And at that point, you also do, as you're kind of going through, notice, like with his clothes and stuff, his pants basically like unceremoniously just dropped to the floor. There is a sheath for a tento knife, but there is no knife.
Ooh.
And
Interesting.
let the signal at the shrine.
Okay, I'm going to put everything back and report to the others what I found.
Okay.
I'm asleep.
But you see me peeking in the window watching you.
Yeah. So I'll tell you.
I'm watching you, not them. Not them.
Right. I'll tell you, and then I'm going to go to bed too.
Oh, you're not going to come wake me up to tell me?
Yeah, you'll find out in the morning.
Hey, he lost his knife. Great.
And also this other stuff that you don't care about. You're just going to go, well, such is my burden.
Exactly.
To be woken up in the middle of the night to be told someone lost a knife.
There's a
Right.
reason they sent me away from the temple. You need to learn this.
Which is why I'm not bothering you now. And then I'll get some sleep.
Okay. And while you're hidden, a little bit later that evening, Paul, you're going to notice like over the walls, there's two groups of 3. coordinate at the same time. You're in a place where they're not able to see you. You can kind of hear them on the outside. They go over and kind of land on the wall, and then the other one like gets up on top of it, goes back, and then kind of grabs the other one and helps push them up over.
How long is this after Hatora's gone to sleep?
It's about 1 o'clock in the morning right now.
And so he's been asleep for like a minute or
A couple
returned
hours.
to bed? Okay. I'm gonna throw a rock through the window, which I assume is open. What season are we in? Okay, and try to wake him up so that I can kind of stick close to them.
Okay, I think in this case, I just want to see if you're able to do it without it like hitting something, or just
Okay.
make a ninjutsu roll. You're adding a +1 because it's just not to do damage, but just essentially to wake him up.
All right. I'm gonna use a story point on that because I need this to be cool.
Okay, so that will turn into a support point.
Okay, and so that would make it 8.
All right, which is enough. And so you're hitting Hitaru.
Yeah.
So Dave, you're like,
Big rock.
And then I wake up and look around.
yeah, sure.
Would be, I guess, across the courtyard, out of the shadows enough to like see you waving my hand. Trying to
Okay.
get attention.
And do I need to roll for observation or notice or anything, or is that not?
No, I think you'll be fine because you probably know about where he was at.
Yeah, and then the rock came from which direction? I know that. All right, so I look around.
Yeah, you're seeing these three. Like one of them pulls up another one. The two of them jump off the wall. So now you've got the three of them over here.
Okay.
Could you signal that again?
Oh yeah. So the one of them had gotten to the top of the wall and gone back to help the third one over, and now all three of them have dropped into the courtyard.
Oh, I thought you might have like pinged on the map where.
Oh no, I was literally just moving these three over here.
Oh, okay. They're
Yeah,
there.
by the
Those are-
veranda.
Gotcha.
You saw
Okay.
there's some coming in the other way as well, but like they're not an easy place to see right now.
Okay, my question in the hallway here,
Mhm.
are there rafters or is it just like finished or like what's the story?
There are some rafters, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna scamper up above the doorway, right here,
Mhm.
and get ready to take the third one as if they come in the house. As the third one enters, I'm gonna do my patented Batman up in the rafters.
The Arkham Asylum. Just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
Are you guys just double clicking to do the ping thing?
Oh, just
Yes.
hold down.
Just hold
Hold
it.
it, yeah.
Okay, there we go.
So what are the odds that maybe I heard something and wake up? Are there odds that happens, or are we just going with no? He doesn't.
I would have you go ahead make
Were you kicked out of the temple for gambling?
make an initiative roll.
He's
I
a
was-
light sleeper.
I was sent on a mission. Thank you. That's a 9.
Yeah, and the thing is what you hear is you're relatively close,
Uh-huh.
and Dave, you're going to see this. It comes in the hallway. One of them
Yeah.
sort of stays outside, and then
Right.
two of them come in. Like Mikey, you hear the footsteps,
Mhm.
and the same thing is sort of happening here. One of them is staying
Okay.
outside. You see two of them make their way in.
Okay. All right. So then,
I'm standing up in whatever I sleep in, which is probably
Nothing.
my hat, the casa. But I pick up my bow staff and my flute.
Yeah.
Don't want to cover your
The camera shots, the flute or the bow staff is in the location to save it from having keep it a PG-13 rating.
Covered in fur,
Yeah.
and I'm
That's a beautiful face.
I'm a cartoon animal. There is no genitalia.
Okay.
Well, I am a tanuki. There might be a giant scrotum,
Yeah.
a giant stretchable scrotum.
All right. And so, Mikey, you grab the stuff as you sort of hear them in the hall.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just going to be, because there's no light in my room. I'm going to go stand by the. Is there light in my room to where if I stood by the door, a shadow? Because I imagine these are those paper doors. Yes.
Yeah, they are. There is, however, no light in your room. You're getting a little bit of light from the moon coming outside, so you can see someone.
Okay. So, but nothing would be behind me to cast a shadow on the door that I'm there.
Correct.
Okay. Well, I'm moving over to the door to be ready to, and I'm going to stand just to one side of the door in case somebody opens my door.
Okay. Who wants to start off?
I will. I'm gonna do my little thingy, and let's see. Let's roll. 7. Oh, I forgot to put because it's my special. I should have a +1, so that should be an 8.
Okay.
And that says,
Or did you spend your story point?
no. I mean, I already did on the other thing, but that gives me. Where is it?
Wait, you said you did spend your story point, or you didn't?
No, I had already used my story point before.
Oh, when you use your story point, it becomes a support point, and you lose that story point.
Okay.
So it'll just be the 7. However, these are weak targets.
Right, and I score it. It hits.
Yeah, making it like not well enough to like not have him make some noise. As he kind of flies up there. Then we've got Paul or Mikey.
I'm gonna sneak up behind this one that's outside here and just chokehold him from behind, knock him out.
All right, make your attack roll. That sounds like a ninjutsu thing to me.
Some of them.
So I'll make a note.
Let me rephrase. I do not sneak up behind him and chokehold him unconscious.
So what'd you roll?
Double 2s.
Oh, you have. Were you the one that had the impairment?
Yeah, initiative.
Yeah. So as you come, you kind of grab him, but then it just slips out, and you do not have him. Which again, someone like this should have been pretty easy to take out, little bastard.
He's slippery.
Yeah, so Mikey, you heard the sound down the hallway. You also hear a little bit of a struggle. You will get a +3 if you use your ninjutsu attack next time.
This guy right here, I'm gonna step out and whack him with my bow stick.
Okay.
I get to roll another because I rolled a 6. Sorry, that should have been just a 1d6.
It won't matter.
So just one of those.
So 10 total?
Yeah. I don't know. That's a 1, so I subtract 4, right?
You would subtract 4 from 10.
4 from 10, so that's a 6. And
what's that say for your
score? For what is a 6 is miss if your next move, you may take +3 forward.
Wait, you have one. You didn't spend your story point though, did you?
I have not spent it yet.
Then you actually have a +1. You have a 7.
Oh, score a weak hit.
Yep, which is enough. As it cracks him, are you just trying to down him?
Yeah. I don't understand. What's the bow staff? It just says you score a strong hit on a foe of your choice. It doesn't have a number attached to that, so I don't know.
Oh, so you got like a strong hit will take out a strong enemy, a weak hit will take out a weak enemy, and then as you get into bigger ones, like a strong hit has a certain amount of like points and such.
So if I score a strong hit on somebody with my bow staff, I can fall back to a covered position. But right now I'm exposed. Okay, just making sure.
Yep. Okay, so yeah, as all of that sort of happens, for Mikey and Paul in this case, like the one that was sort of walking in front is like looking up, trying to figure out what the hell went on because he can't quite see where David's at. You also hear like, "What's going on?" and you hear like a cry from their room as they're hearing this struggle and such. But yeah, with the exception right now of Dave, because the one that sees you is actually like sees his friend up there, and then is like trying to climb up onto the rafter to kind of pull his friend down. both of you are going to be having someone attack you. Are you dodging? Are you counterattacking?
Blocking, countering.
Okay. So counterattack with your weapon. Go ahead and
Yep.
make a
Staff.
make your staff roll. And Mikey.
I'm going to counter as well.
All right.
With,
Same thing.
with my flute.
And since you got a story point, anytime an attack, you add your story points.
So I roll and then add 1 to it because of my story.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And this is with my flute, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 10.
Nice.
And then Paul also got 10.
No, that was the wrong key. That was a roll 3, keep 2.
Oh.
9.
You got a 9. Yeah. So for both of those,
I got a strong hit. So I hit with my flute. Well, he's a weak target, so it doesn't matter anyway.
and what is yours a strong hit with yours, Paul?
A strong hit
On the 9.
for ninjutsu. It just says
Score a weak.
strong hit.
You got is it 9 a weak hit or a strong hit?
9 is a weak hit. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So in this case, since it is during a weak one, both of you are able to eliminate the enemy before they get to you. So how do you each take out the 2 that are fighting you?
Whatever he's attacking me with, because I'm using a binding weapon, I managed to get it up, bind his arm, pull it down, and headbutt him.
Okay.
And then let it drop and step back.
Yeah. And he hits the ground. There's blood kind of coming out. He's dropped the knife that he had. And then Paul, what do you do? How did you get yours?
Block his parry his attack with one side of the bow staff and bring the other one around to crack to the side of the head.
Yeah, and he hits like the side of his head goes through part of the paper door next to you, and then actually this will be on the outside. So yeah, he'll actually
We're getting our security deposit back.
falls to the ground and just boom, that dude's out. All right, and Dave, the one who was climbed up and then sees you.
Yeah.
But he was climbing up this turn. So next turn, you've got only 2 more left.
I'm going to kick him down.
Okay, make your attack move.
So weak. No, it wouldn't need to be that because I'm not using a weapon. I'm just kicking him.
Yep, that's a miss.
Yeah. Now, if it's because I'm using Ranto, I take +3 going forward. So my next move will be a little better, hopefully.
All right, and then we got Mikey and Paul.
I want to. I don't want to hurt him. I may want to knock him out. I don't want to kill him.
You want to intimidate him?
Well, can I pull my punches if I get like a super strong hit or whatever? Can I just make it a knockout?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you didn't kill the other guy you put down either.
Okay. Well, I'm.
If you want to kill these people, you can. Otherwise, like right now, I'm assuming you're going to knock unconscious. You're probably not going fatal.
I don't have the list of things that. Yes. What I want to do is demand of him why they are. I want information.
Okay. It looks like overcome. Roll by your righteousness.
Okay. With my righteousness, got it. That's a 5. Oh, there's another +1, so that's a 6.
Okay. And for this one, as you.
Sorry. That is a 5 because it took a minute to roll it.
Okay. So with the 5 in that case.
Everybody else spent their story points, so I'm going to as well.
Okay.
It is. Oh wait, no. I rolled a 1 on that, so it's a negative. So it's a 0. I'm not going to spend my story point.
Yeah. At that point, how do you threaten him?
I'm, menacingly waving my flute.
Yeah.
Do you know Greg?
Tell me why you are here. Do not make me use this upon you.
brings up his knife and he goes, "You're not gonna find me nearly as easy to beat as Kahichi."
Mikey, do you know who Greg Morton is?
Yeah. The comic.
Hit him with your flute, Greg.
Flute Greg. Flute man Greg.
And Paul?
I'm going to threaten the one, step in behind him through the doorway and just tell him, lower your weapon and surrender.
All right. Yeah, go ahead and make sounds like overcome. You're trying to intimidate.
Or negotiate? Does that be negotiate? If I'm kind of more making a demand of him?
I guess how do you put it? Like, if it's a threat, it's more the righteousness. If it's negotiation is more social charms and social interactions, as opposed to force.
Because it was I think enough people have been hurt here tonight, son. Maybe it's time for you to put your weapon down.
Roll your negotiate.
Okay. So I want to test out this macro. Yeah. I mean, the roll sucked, but the macro worked. So. Mother, I should have just clocked him.
Where'd you get the -3 from? Oh, is it that your specific?
That's part of my quirk.
Yeah. He's just going. If I don't come back with what we're looking for, they're gonna kill me anyway.
Well, you're gonna die tonight either way. Then this next one won't be a non-fatal attack.
Okay. Yeah. Dave and Mikey. Now at this point, are you're being attacked both with a knife?
Counter.
Okay. Make your weapon roll. Remember to add your +1 for story point.
7.
What kind of a hit is that for you?
Oh, for me that is a weak hit.
Yep, that'll be enough. And Dave?
9, which is a weak hit.
Since I'm using for this one, I was using my dagger, and it says. If you were covered, hidden, or otherwise concealed before you made this attack, you may choose this special, which is my special for the first one. If your target is weak, you instantly kill the target and you remain covered. I'm not intending to kill, but I definitely want to knock him out.
Okay. You just
the hilt of the dagger.
Back pummel.
Bam! And he just and then falls out. And then Mikey?
Okay.
I counterattacked with the weak attack. Did that take him out?
That takes him out. How do you want to have that happen?
Oh, he's got that knife. I whip around behind him with the flute, grab it on either sides of his throat and choke him out.
Okay. At this point, like the things have opened. The family has sort of come out, kind of wide eyes as he just, and then you're just drop the body. All these unconscious, 6 unconscious thugs.
What's our host name again?
Yufuku?
Master Yufuku, do you recognize these men?
And he just sort of nods. Everyone gained another story point?
Says these wouldn't happen to be someone nearby that have sent them who sent them to hurt you. Would they?
This should be Lord Akimaru.
I almost said it, and then I thought I'll let him admit it, because then he would know we were snooping.
And he's sort of looking through. None of them are wearing like anyone's symbol.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's the only one. I've refused to give him to lend him money. He borrowed so much and unable to pay it back. He lives such a lavish lifestyle that the amount we've given, I'll never see most of it back as it is. But it was.
But he has money to pay these men to come and take something from you.
Probably the ones we saw on the road too.
Where is his house?
It's like eyes kind of go down. It's like he has a manor house in the city.
Please show me where this is.
Kind of goes out and he points towards it's the largest house in the city. It's not too hard to see from where you're at.
You were lending money to the man who owns this house?
And this is the thing, it's not unusual for samurai to borrow some money because if they live particularly lavish lifestyles, they sometimes have to borrow against that. But the thing is like a samurai can also kill someone and nobody can do a thing about it.
Ah.
So it actually says in this time in history that is not as common as it's going to become.
Do we know that Akimoru is a samurai?
Yeah, Lord Nakamura would mean that he's a samurai if he's a lord.
Okay. Mm.
Yeah. I
Try
think I
it.
might go pay this Akimoro a visit. He should be notified that his men won't be returning tonight.
Are we
go
good taking
now,
a
or
moment for
wait and-
a bio break?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll be right
Yeah,
back.
I'll just kill him while you're doing your thing.
Sweet.
Come back, all their throats are slit. Oh.
Oh shoot! Let me get the water.
I'll show you finally. So your last semester, do the same thing. Have to wait until then and find your shirt. Uh-oh. Move it. I'm back.
Woohoo!
Check this out.
Hey, I brought snacks if anyone's hungry.
I have returned.
Anyway, it's a fun one.
Okay, and I think Paul, you've got about a half hour.
Until about 2:30.
Okay, it was probably about an hour or so left to finish. Yeah, so the one thing, Paul, you would have noticed he brought up Lord Akimuru, but what he did not bring up was the other
Kushin.
name.
Is it Tushen?
Chushin.
Chushen?
Mm-hmm.
And he's the one who supports the Iko-Iki.
Yep.
Okay.
The anti against the shogunate.
So you said these men weren't wearing anyone's like insignia, but do they look more like bandits or
These guys, the bandits that were attacked this morning, those were sort of common thugs. These ones are a little more hardened. They're still considered sort of weak enemies. They're still sort of below where player characters are, but these guys have fought together before.
Shall we wait until morning to pay a visit to Lord Akimaru?
Well, as far as their clothing and equipment, do they seem like they're bandits that have come into the city, or do they seem like they're actually warriors in the employ of a samurai?
As you go to kind of check, these appear like bandits are still going to have like their stuff with them. Like they're going to have like some money in the pockets. As you kind of check there, these ones only have their the weapons, and there's nothing else on them, which for a bandit would be unusual.
Mikey, if this coward chooses to strike in the night, then I think that we should honor him and deal with him tonight.
Sounds reasonable.
I'm okay with that.
At which point, Yufuku goes, no, please, this is my problem. I'll speak with him in the morning. There's no reason to go tonight. The morning will work fine.
He still lives in the morning. You may speak with him all you wish.
No, at this point, if you go there, he's so many guards.
Yes, well,
He has 6 less.
He has chosen to attack my new friend and his family in the night. I wish to speak with him now.
And he's got like some sweat sort of dripping off of his brow.
Indeed, we would be poor guests to allow our host to be insulted as such.
If they know you stayed with me and you go and you were to kill him, great shame would come onto me, which is something you all know is untrue.
Then perhaps I won't kill him. Perhaps I will just make it so that he is not able to do this again.
Did you say we all know that is untrue?
Yeah, like what? Because like if Lord Akamaru had like one, you'd have to be able to prove it. Would be the thing. Yeah. But this is not a huge city. Like it's a little bigger than a village, but people are going to know each other. If these men, people are going to know probably who they work for.
Yeah, I give him that 1980s sitcom look that says, "Really?"
Yeah. and then a freeze frame like right on there.
Yeah.
What's the daughter's name again?
Daughter's name is Kiko.
Kiko. I'm gonna, my lady Kiko, I'm gonna hand her Joe staff and say, while we are gone, it may fall on you to protect your family. And I give her a little wink.
Aye. Got it.
And I'll turn to him and say, she does understand that I don't actually mean that she should,
I am not sure that she does. Perhaps you have just placed an undue burden upon this poor child who will now lose her life to untold legions of shogunate men sneaking into the house in the middle of the night. Such are the whims of fate.
or perhaps you have made a little badass who's going to beat the shit out of all those people.
That's who I'm playing in the sequel when she's all grown up.
He's setting up your sequel? I'm going to go dig a grave in the backyard. I'm setting up for my sequel.
She'll still have that little Joe staff.
All right, so are we going to start heading toward the largest building in town?
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Yeah. I might go a little bit ahead to try to sneak in.
Under cover of night.
If I can just get a blade to the guy's throat.
Yeah, Paul
I would use one of the blades one of his men dropped as just a little.
Are we sneaking tonight?
You sound so excited.
Yes, let's sneak. I like to sneak.
Interesting. Shall we scamper across the rooftops like rats? No offense, or scamper through the back alleys and gutters like rats? No offense.
I haven't had a good scamper in years.
I'm going to scamper through the treetops.
Like a monkey. No offense.
And you are probably going to pee on everything between here and that house.
Move your leg.
They will know that I was here.
They will know that I was here.
Okay, so Paul, make an initiative roll because for the observation.
7.
Okay. 7 is. Here, let me move this back here.
7's mediocre. I mean,
It's a weak. I think it's a weak hit.
It's okay.
Good Lord, it's been long enough since I've done Apocalypse World. I was like, was it 7 to 9? Yes, it's 7 to 9. So as you're sort of like working your way up there, you actually notice that there's some other guards, or not other guard. There's guard stuff around the estate, but you do see a group of people kind of heading up over the walls in between one of the guards. And because it's the 7, one point is you go over, one of them just sort of turns and sees you like down the way. You kind of see his eye just kind of like cock up a bit since there's really nobody else on the street this late at night.
I'll give him a little nod and a little gesture of like, carry on.
He kind of looks, and then like you see him dive back over the wall.
I'll be seeing you again in a moment, my friend.
And the guards themselves for Akimura seem oblivious.
Yes. Well, I will follow my new friends over the wall.
Okay.
Try to find the Lord, which I said in quotation marks.
Okay, so you head over. As you sort of land in a crouch and manages to hide, because you saw like where that hole was in the thing.
Mm-hmm.
You also like you kind of see one of the guards there had waited, or not one of the guards, one of the invaders had sort of waited. The other ones have gone into it, and you can see him over by the house, like looking in the same direction as you sort of fall. So he is aware that you are there. And okay. Mikey and David.
I'm following. He's going through the trees, I guess.
Yeah, I'm hopping through the trees.
I'm going to stick to the shadows and the streets. I'm the dog type. I'm not going to be scampering over rooftops very easily.
There are not enough trees to go through the hole. Like there are trees in places throughout it, but like you'll be able to like some rooftops and some other stuff if you want to do it that way.
Yeah, okay. Whatever it takes.
But I'm also attempting to look very casual about the whole thing.
Okay.
Naked with your straw.
Hey, you never said you put your clothes back.
I put my clothes on before we go.
Is this business casual? And you just are you walking just you said straight down the center of the street or
no on the in the shadows on the side, but not looking super conspicuous.
And again, so you can see the guards, and from the vantage point, we'll say there's probably a good point where Dave, you actually see Paul go up over.
Okay.
What do you do on the outside? What are you two doing?
Who?
You and Mikey.
Oh, okay. I'm going to try to make the breach near where Paul did and try to follow. Is there a tree I can get in over there, or do I have to be exposed?
Yeah, you can see a place where there's the actual like where the guard patrol. Like it's kind of a blind spot.
Okay, I'm gonna up and over.
And Mikey, are you?
I'm also yes.
Okay. So we'll get to Paul as you sit there. There's one of the guards, one of the invaders is that there and has his katana out. So these are Ronin. You're guessing probably ex-samurai.
Mm-hmm.
And so Paul is as he's kind of looking straight towards you, and very quietly, kind of makes his way. And you're a place where there's not other guards. Like the guards themselves are not really in the courtyard itself. They're outside of it.
So we're hiding from the guards, but staying in view of each other so we can get closer to have a brief conversation.
Yep. And he kind of comes and stays maybe about, like, if you don't do anything to stop him, but maybe 10 feet away, and he has his katana out.
Yeah, I still have my staff on my back, but I'll
Okay.
keep my hands in sight, hiding from the guards, but making it obvious I'm not trying to hide from him, and I'll get until we're within whispering distance.
Okay. You actually do see, like, as he comes up, you see a tattoo of the Iko Iki on his wrist.
Okay.
And he just goes, "Who are you and why have you come over the wall?"
Yeah. I am a Yumi, and if you intend harm to the Lord of this manor tonight, I just ask that you allow me to have a word with him first. There's a shame that has been committed in his name, and I would like for him to at least know that he's failed before he dies.
Oh, he'll know he's failed. I don't know what your problem is with him, but you're not going to have it for long.
I understand that. I would just like to see the look on his face.
And his sword kind of points his sword out. He goes, "I have no idea who you are. You do not get to come in. You leave now, or I'll kill you where you stand."
Well, that really wouldn't go good for either of us, because either you wind up dead or we both wind up fighting guards back to back.
His eyes and he kind of brings his katana back in a stance, and then comes out like he's almost ready to do that like katana rush.
We have the same enemy here, son. Why do we need to fight?
I told you to leave. I don't know who you are, why you're here.
I've said that I'm a Yumi, and I am here to speak with the Lord of the Manor to throw his shame in his face.
He kind of shakes his head, and this is
like really innocent. Like, I don't know that he's like itching for a fight.
yeah. So and at which point he is going to rush you.
Okay. I'm just gonna like shift to the side and try to trip him as he goes by.
Okay, so you're dodging.
Yep.
All right, go ahead and make a roll. And remember to add the story point.
Yeah.
You're dodging, so it'll be plus initiative.
Yeah. Oh, so then 8. Well, I guess it'll make a difference.
Okay, so this is great. Ask another character to deal with this attacker, otherwise you're hit and suffer one setback. This sounds like a good time for Dave to have come over the wall.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I know what I'm gonna do.
So wait, what were you looking at just then?
Oh,
Is
so
there a dodge?
basically a lone strong enemy attacks a player. Dodge the attack. Roll initiative. Up to 9. Ask another character to deal with this attacker, otherwise you're hit. And
that's
suffer.
that's your move. Okay.
Yes. So yeah, it's basically like the react, because like there's all the reaction stuff. It's like, do you say
Gotcha.
something to convince the enemy to back up? Do you threaten them? Do you counterattack? Do you make something up? But yeah. So essentially, this is a good thing if like you dodge out of the way as Dave. You get to the top of the wall and you see this. You see this as he swipes the sword but misses.
Do I get to trip him too? Does he trip over my foot?
He does stumble.
Good, because I left it there for that express purpose.
Yeah, doesn't go to the ground, but he does stumble, putting Dave. You're actually in a very good place to deal with him.
Yep. I just rolled.
I rolled a 9,
Yep.
which is a weak hit.
Hold on.
I think I just helped him. Can I go ahead and make that official with the support point?
Yes, you can.
All right.
Then that's a 10.
Which is probably a strong
And
hit.
it
It
says
is a strong hit.
if you score a strong hit on your foe of choice, then your character falls back to a covered position, and he is hanging by his leg from the nearest tree that I'm in.
Okay, so that because you're basically able to take him out.
Yeah.
With this one. Though, like I said, the thing is though, you can't keep him in the tree because you don't have extra. Like you got the thing, you can pull him up and then drop him.
Right. I'm gonna.
Well,
Or yeah. But
I want to offer to let him go if he'll stop being an asshole. So that might solve that if he agrees.
well, it's not like Dave. You already knocked him because a strong hit.
Yeah,
take him out.
I instantly popped him on the top of the head with that
Oh.
palm.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
which point I come over the wall. Oh, you've made a friend.
Well, more of an acquaintance, but yes.
Okay, he is out.
Lay him down gently on the ground, and then continue to scamper and scurry. And
I'll put his katana back in his sheath, and then just lay him against the wall. Yeah.
Okay.
put a bottle in his hand like an armadillo.
I don't want to interfere with his mission.
Sure.
That would be rude. That'd be rude. I just don't want him interfering with ours.
Okay. So, in the house itself, you have. Uh, you just head straight into the manor through like the door that they've opened to go in.
I'm gonna start peeking through windows because I want to see if he's alone somewhere. I want to sneak up behind him, put a blade to his throat, and mutter something that may or may not be threatening.
Well, as you're heading up towards because it's a like a 3-story. It's a fairly large home. But as you're heading towards the actual the house itself, you can kind of see in through the door that they've opened up, and there's 2 dead guards on the floor of the hallway which the invaders entered.
Oh well, this isn't going to be as bad as I'd hoped.
Dave, did Hotaro ever fill Tanuki in on this whole thing?
Oh yeah,
that was in the book.
Before we left, I gave you the info that I found. Told you all about it.
It appears that, and perhaps I am incorrect here, but that our host, who lends to Chushen, who supports the Iko Iki, has perhaps lent financial support to a raid upon Lord Akimoru's home on this very evening.
That might have been the shame he was talking about. The honor that we would have by exposing this.
This is quite interesting. I would like to see where this goes.
Me too.
Did you happen to see the
most beautiful girl in the world?
That was the sum that was owed by this lord.
Oh yes, I saw figures.
A lot.
If he's to die tonight, perhaps we can return with repayment on his behalf.
Possibly. I will do my best to find the coin and bring it back.
All of it, son?
Well,
as much as
more for our trouble.
He's like, as much as reasonable.
Enough to pay the debt and a little more for our trouble. We'll do what
just for us to owe our host money at the end of the evening.
You hear some fighting coming from upstairs.
That sounds like swordplay.
Seems like they're having tea upstairs. Perhaps we should join.
Perhaps we should wait until they are done with tea.
Well, observe, not, partake. We just had tea, and, at my age, at this time of night, you don't want as much liquid in your body.
Very well.
You know what it is when we're liquidy.
And if necessary, we can relieve some of these fellows of the liquids in their body.
All right, so what do you do?
You can stab them.
I start upstairs.
Okay.
Yeah.
You come upstairs. There is another guard who's dead on the floor. You also see one of the invaders has been a sword. He's not quite dead yet, but he's about to as he's bleeding out on the floor. And you see, like, further down the hall, there are 3 people who are basically, one of them's kind of gone through the doorway. You can see what's clearly sort of Lord Akimura, who's woken up, a goat. And he's sitting there, and he's like no shirt on, but he's pulled a sword, and he's fighting someone in the room, and the other 2 are just starting to come into the room itself.
Can I stop this man from dying?
Yeah, I was gonna give him some medicine, pain relief.
Yeah, you can give it a try. Do you have your what's it, Bushido? Or not Bushido for you, Buddhism?
My Buddhism allows me to do grand doctoring.
Okay. Yep, I go ahead and make a roll.
So that's at +2 because of my story points, right?
Yeah.
That's a 9.
Strong doctoring of medicine on a sickly person.
Yes.
Yeah, so you actually kind of, like, your manager kind of grabs some stuff, bandage it around. Like, he's going to end up, he's going to be okay. He's going to need some more specific care soon, but right now, things are going to be okay with him. So yeah, so Mikey goes down to do that. What do the other 2 of you do?
Well, if it's taken care of, I'm going to get into a better view Is he fighting one-on-one with one of the invaders?
Right now, he's fighting one-on-one. The other 2 are basically coming into the room as you 2 come up, as the 3 of you come up the steps.
Okay.
Is this the Lord? Is this Akimoru?
Yeah, the Lord is the one who's fighting in his bedroom.
Okay.
Also naked, so you guys left something to talk about.
Oh, he's got
No
pants,
shirt.
he's got pants on. Yeah, the other two are still in the hallway, but they're about to go in.
Okay. I'm going to attempt to pounce down the hall, and I'll take whichever one. Let's see. I'm going to try to take out whoever's on the left.
Okay.
The guy that we passed, did he happen to have like a tento that maybe didn't fit the scabbard it was in?
Nope.
Okay. You want to make sure that they're not planting any weird evidence before they leave.
I will say a quick look does tell you that the guy who's fighting Lord Akimura actually has got a tanto kind of just like shoved in the belt, but in basically in a place where you wouldn't like. He doesn't actually have a scabbard for it, and a lot of times like a Ronin like this is usually not going to carry a fighting dagger.
So I'll get Hikura's attention and kind of point him towards the blade. Does that look like it fit in the scabbard that you saw?
Well, Hotaru is like heading down the hall, going after one of them.
Yeah.
I'll still say it and then shake my head and follow him.
What kind of hit is that?
An 8 is I believe it's a weak
hit.
with a up to 9 is a weak hit.
Okay. As you come through, you're like,
now, is he a weak target?
Nope, this is a strong target.
Okay.
Yeah, so that one is as you kind of hit. He sort of hears you as you're coming. Will turn and this is what weapon are you using?
The dagger.
Okay. So he actually turns and like gets cut a bit across his chest as you're coming, but his turn kind of gotten in position. And then Paul.
I'll follow in and not really going to interfere until the moment where it looks like the Lord's about to die, because I do want to blast his. I do want to humiliate him before he.
Yeah, well, to get into the room, you actually have to get past the two that are in the one. Like the two that were going through the doorway. There's the one fighting the Lord inside, and there's the two that were going through. But like the halls are not that big. You've right now got David and one of the other ones are fighting in the doorway.
And these walls are paper, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, then I'll just go into the adjacent room and then make my own door.
Okay, you sort of head around. That means. Yeah, David, you are now at the mercy of two strong enemies.
Oh! I didn't realize he was about to face them. Then I'll cut the slit and then wait to see if he needs help before I go in.
Oh, the one that was kind of coming turns as they're going and then rushes to help behind because like it looks like their boss is the one who's attacking Akimura and they're fighting in the room. So he rushes to help his friend. So Dave will be right now has two of them coming towards him.
Okay, and friend, then I'll stop there and say, friends, we have a common enemy. There's no reason for us to fight.
Has this line ever worked?
Yeah,
for you?
in the middle of battle, it's not, especially with assassins coming in.
Yeah,
like he's also been attacked by Dave.
Yeah, but this is a comic book, and we got to fill up a couple panels. Oh, he's already attacked Dave. Okay. Then,
Dave came at him with a dagger, and then you're like,
Yeah.
we could all be friends.
Ignore the monkey with a dagger. We're here to help.
so when they look at me with when the enemies look at me with the like, does that line ever work, old man look? Then I'll say like, I was speaking to my friend here.
All right. So are we rolling initiative or anything?
No, because it was your attack, and then now it's So Paul, your move is just to kind of get into the next room so you can come through the paper if you need to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So right now you've got a group of strong enemies against you, Dave. So as the two of them are coming at you, like what are you doing to defend? Is this like dodging, counterattacking?
Yeah, I'm gonna dodge, and I'm gonna to pull out my roped thing so that as I try to jump back, I can also try. I don't know if it'll work, but try to make a retreat attack.
Okay, so it's actually basically you're counterattacking, but in the fiction you're also
Yes.
Dodging.
Dave has been the only one who's actually been effective in combat so far. I'm not worried about him.
Yeah.
Don't say
It's not
that
true.
now.
I've been fairly effective. I took out 3 dudes by myself while you two were bickering over those 3 over at the other end of the house. But sure, Dave's the only one effective in combat.
Or maybe, Mikey, if you hung them by the rafters, that would be cooler.
Yeah.
Apparently, you've got to be Batman to get some attention around here.
I'm great at counterattacking. I just suck at attacking.
And Dave, how many story points do you have?
Should have 2.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Do I need to roll?
Yeah. So yeah, you're rolling your attack essentially.
Okay, and I'm going to push that with a story point.
Okay.
Or will that matter?
Well, that's 8, and then a story point will make it 11, but you're down to 1 story point after that.
Yeah.
To use the story points, you spend them.
Yeah.
Right.
And they become a support.
Okay. So can I use a support?
Support is actually support could have been Paul. If Paul has a support point left.
I would give that to a friend. Okay. All right. I see. All right. Cool.
I mean,
Well,
that could be. I mean, Paul, do you still have a support? Because like when you spend a story point, it gives you the +3 and then becomes a support point.
Okay. Because then that means I made a miss, but I may take 3 going forward. So my next attack, I'll have +3.
Okay. Yeah, you are hit for 1 setback point.
Okay.
So you get to choose one of your stats to impair, and then you roll 2d6. This is your first setback.
Yes.
Yeah. Then you just roll 2d6 -1.
2d6 -1.
Man, you got the consistency.
I don't know what happened.
Oh, so 6. And then there's the little thing. Yeah, weak suffering. Impair one of your. I'm sorry. You got the setback point. You didn't impair, but this actually will impair one of your attributes. If you have more than 3, drop it back to 3. So yeah, this is where you impair it. You wouldn't have done it before because I forgot. You get the setback point first. They become impairments later.
Okay.
So yeah, so you do get 1 impaired because of the 6-year-old.
So what would that? Where would that be?
Just mark by one of your stats. Essentially, if you roll doubles now, like either awkward, embarrassed, upset, like these kind of flavor.
Oh, okay. So pick one of those.
Yep.
I'm going to pick upset.
Okay. Yeah, as it doesn't quite work as they kind of score you on the arm.
Yeah. Oh, jerks!
All right, next turn. What's everyone doing?
I'm going to go join the fight now.
Okay.
I figure whatever they do goes first because I'm going to have to get there. So
It's not too far down the hall. We'll get the players and stuff on it because your thing is the reaction to what they do.
Okay, so there are 2 of them versus Hotaru, and Ayumi's in an adjacent room.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to go stand by my comrade Hotaru's side and attack with my flute.
Okay. Hataru, what are you doing?
I'm now that I kind of got back,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna get my thing ready to go again.
Okay.
Again, looking up at the ceiling, is there a rafter, exposed beam?
Place for him to Batman from.
But at this point, you're also being actively attacked, so it's
Right. So I'm gonna defend, but I'm also I just glanced up to see if there is one for a later.
Is there a gargoyle in the corner exactly 1 jump distance away?
Yes. Okay, so Mikey, make your attack roll. So David, you're also attacking.
Yes.
I got a 7, which is a weak hit. And if I score a weak hit on my target and push my weapon up against theirs, binding them until my next move.
Okay, so yeah, the one you've got as he's coming after you, not enough to take him out, but you're.
If they're strong, they may not engage anyone else but me until my next move. If they're grand, they may engage other targets, but those targets get +3 to resist my bound target. So if they're strong, If they're weak, they can't engage anyone. If they're strong, they can't engage anyone but me.
Oh, the thing is though, you need to have get enough to get the specials. Because the bind only works if you hit a thing like if you roll doubles, you can use the event, or if you get your was it 12 or
Oh, okay. So that doesn't. So, but I hit him with the flute as with a weak hit.
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, the what activates
Oh,
those?
I'm sorry. No, I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 3. I rolled a 1.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, you leave it. That gives you you'll have the +3 next going forward next turn.
Yep.
But yeah, as it comes through, he is not particularly impressed by you attacking with a flute. Dave?
Anyone can attack with a sword.
I'll take an 11.
Which is a what for you?
Oh, that's let's see with this thing.
A strong hit.
Probably
Yeah,
a strong hit.
strong.
Okay.
Up to 12.
Yeah, so
And it says you score a strong hit on a foe of your choice. And then your character falls back to a covered position. So that means I could go up into even though they know where I'm at, I could still.
you're basically out of the combat.
Yeah.
Out of like kind of close range. Yeah, you manage to sort of fall back up. Wait, what is allowing you to do that?
The Khashoggi or whatever.
Oh, that again, that special only hits
If you roll doubles.
well if you roll doubles, or if you get like the 12, or if you're using a Ranto weapon, use one of its specials. The specials aren't for every single time you attack.
Oh, okay. Well, because it said aim or retreat, and I was using the retreat, which again allows me to hit and then get out. So I can't do that again because I haven't used it during this combat yet.
Yeah.
No, but
If you roll doubles, you can.
Oh, you have to
can
roll
do one of those.
doubles.
Yeah.
They're triggered. They're not automatic.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Sweet. Now
and especially like some of those like with the aim for the +6, those are particularly for events can do it. So yeah, if you've got the doubles, or if you roll high enough, it'll tell you can use the special. Those are also for like grand enemies. Those are more important because grand enemies can be super hard to take out. So you want to have like a couple big hits.
Okay. All right. So hit him.
Okay. And Paul, what are you doing?
As I'm going to slice through the into the room that the other three are fighting, and guess I'll see that we're not going to resolve it peacefully with the attackers, and I'll just shuriken one of the attackers.
Okay, so right now, because the two actually, yeah, you want to shuriken through the doorway, because in the essentially like right in the hall, as you kind of like slice through the paper, you see in the hall there's the one that Dave, did you killed the one you're attacking?
I don't know. It doesn't. How much damage do I do?
Well, you got what, 11?
Yeah.
That's a strong hit versus strong enemy, so that'll take him out.
Okay. Good.
'Cause I thought that I had left the hallway and gone into an empty room on my way to the room where the master of the house
Yeah.
was.
Were you going through the paper to go into the room where the master of the house was attacking?
Yeah. So I'm
So
gonna go
so as you come in there, he's fighting one guy. Dave just took out the other one. The other two were coming through the doorway, but they're in the hallway now attacking Mikey and David.
Okay.
So there's
Then,
one attacking Mikey. You see another one has fallen to Dave.
All right. I'm gonna shuriken the one that's attacking the master of the house.
Okay, make your roll.
Well, I'll roll my roll. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Mhm.
I got a story point. Dude, what the frick?
At least it
yeah,
wasn't
I'm gonna-
unpredictable.
I'm gonna story point this. I'm tired of looking like an idiot.
So that becomes
So that's
7, and now you
7.
have a
Yeah,
support.
or does someone also want to use a
I can do that.
I don't have a support point.
I do.
Mike? Had you spent story points?
I have not spent any story points,
Okay.
which is why I still have 2 of them.
Okay. And so Dave,
Yeah, that would.
Yeah, I'm going to spend the support point. So now I don't have any support points. I just have one story.
okay,
That only gives me an 8 though, so it doesn't really change my roll.
okay. So I would keep the support.
So just keep it.
So it was a weak hit.
Yeah, weak hit.
Okay, so he kind of hits the shoulder as it's the shuriken's there, but it hasn't started taking him out as he's still fighting with the Lord. So in this case, Mikey, since you're still in combat, what are you doing? Is this guy's rushing? Is this guy's attacking you?
With these
Counterattack.
Okay.
check boxes for covered and flanking, does that affect anything, or is that just?
It's usually just show like how many people can kind of come after you.
Okay.
It matters more
I got
and more
a
open
9 weak hit. If somebody wants to give me, then it becomes a strong hit.
Yeah, actually, Dave, you might be able to help us. As you see, Mikey's kind of holding his own, but it looks like this guy might be doing a little bit better. If you
give him.
If you use your bonus, I get a strong hit.
Okay. All right. I can do
Because
that.
we're side by side.
Well, and I've also I can use my teamwork to actually give you a +3.
If you did that, I would have. Well, if Dave uses his bonus and you use your teamwork, then I get a grand hit.
So if I toss another shuriken in that direction to kind of distract that guy for a second.
No, I will say the strong by itself will do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Something like a grand might be good if the three of you are trying to either stop or break up this fight. That becomes more useful there.
So I'm imagining that Hotaru faints, and as the guy jerks back, I move in with my flute and whack him one.
All I'm picturing is just from the rafters, like this like monkey man just goes, and then he dodges it just to see.
And I'm whacking him right under the. I'm whacking him on the right across the shins.
And like it's a real like the flute's strong enough that as you do that, it actually like he hits the ground, and you hear like a crack in his shin.
Oh, I was like, that's not the flute. That's not the flute.
Yeah. as he falls.
Not the flute.
So right now it's just the two who are fighting in the bedroom. It's Lord Akimura and the other guy.
Oh, actually, because I had a miss, that was actually at a +3, so that is a grand hit.
Oh,
Dave helps me. Dave, take your bonus back. You didn't have to help me.
Oh, okay.
Just remember, you missed last time too, right?
Yeah.
You get a +3 on this attack too, as long as you do the same thing.
Sweet.
Oh, I didn't realize that was for everyone.
Yeah, it's a basic thing. Like as long as the very next thing you do is another attack with it, because it's just, like it realizes if you don't have story points, you're probably gonna miss the first one. You might have like a bit of a bonus on like if you're doing like a counterattack or those kind of things.
That's
So
cool.
if your next move is that attack, because I don't think it works in your counterattack, but that's when I'll double check. The rules are it's Apocalypse World, but just a tiny bit different.
Okay.
Enough that it's just like getting your head around how those work. All right, so yeah, you got those two fighting in the bedroom. What are the two of you doing, or three of you doing?
Try to stop him, I would imagine.
I'm just looking back and forth. I'm gonna follow their lead, but I think it's rude to interrupt.
Yep, I'm ready with a Louisville Slugger to the back of this guy's head if he starts getting the upper hand. But I agree with Mikey. It would be rude to interrupt until they're done.
Okay, if Akimura gets the upper hand, or the one who's trying to assassinate him
The
does?
assassin gets the upper hand. Like I want to talk to this guy before he dies.
Okay. Yeah, the assassin starts to get the upper hand at one point. Goes to kind of catch him. There's kind of a spin, and he's coming around to do like what he hopes is going to be a beheading. And you said you were waiting.
He's getting a Louisville Slugger to the back of the head.
All right, make an attack roll.
Have I rolled anything but a 4 or a 6 this entire? All right, whiff.
You want to even if you story point, that's probably not going to work, is it?
I used my story point the last time.
Okay.
I don't have it anymore.
Yeah. So as you come in, he actually sort of dodges out of the way, and it goes like halfway into Akimura's neck. As his sort of slide then pulls it out the rest of the way, and Akimura falls, and he goes, and Chushin has the thing out and goes.
Did he notice that he was getting attacked from behind?
Yeah, because he got the shuriken before, and he.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he sort of moved around to try to not be as hit. Akimura at least figured you came in, you were fighting those guys, so you were on his side. You couldn't tell probably if you were his guards or not, but it doesn't matter because Akimura's like He's on the ground and he's bleeding out.
All right.
The Mikey, I will say that we can tell, like the way that went into his neck, he is dead. He's gonna die within
I'll
less
look
than
at
a minute.
this guy, go,
Unless
"That-
I get a grand doctoring.
Possibly. Yeah. So at this point, he kind of turns, got his sword out, and goes, "You are not of his guard. Who are you?"
This is most disappointing. I really, really hope to speak to him before you did that."
And he kind of like holds it out in his back. He's like, "What did you wish to tell him?"
That his cowardly attack on the rice merchant failed, and that he's a putz.
Oh, I'm pretty sure he can still hear you. He's probably not very focused on.
And then I'll turn to him. Your cowardly attack on the rice merchant failed, and you're a putz.
Oh, he can't hear you anymore. It's just a guess.
So why are you attacking him?
He goes, "Let's just say I have reasons to want to."
They are?
He kind of takes a bit of a step back and goes, "If you leave, you live."
I saved your man in the hall. I'm going to live anyway.
Interesting.
Yes, and looking at the odds, I think we're going to both leave and live either way. So why don't you put your sword away? If you want to live and leave.
He goes, pulls like the dagger that he had just sort of like shoved in the belt, and then like throws it into Akimura, and then kind of brings the sword back to the hand. And he goes, "You're aligned with the rice merchant?
Yes.
I'm afraid I can't let you leave."
Aligned is such a strong word. Slept at his house. He was a good host. Great rice, excellent sake, wonderful tea. His children are delightful.
Well then.
So if you're not going to allow us to leave, or shouldn't you have to feed us and put us down for the night and, give us a place to sleep?
He goes, "I am planning on putting you down for the night."
Well then, coward. Let's see what you are able to let or not let happen.
Okay, he is considered a grand enemy.
Awesome.
So basically, like one of the things, he can only be heard on rolls of 13 or better.
Son of a bitch.
This is where sort of helping, like you realize as you see him, this is someone who can take on three, like who has taken on probably groups before.
Can I save up 3 of my rolls of 4 and use them as a 12?
And use them at
But
once.
this is also where things like story points support, like the teamwork, all those sort of things, and also as you miss, you start getting those bonuses. Here's where you start working those things in.
We've already, Mikey and I still have a +3 right now on our next attack, right?
Oh, so do I. So I will at least get a 7.
It's because there was time in between, so that has reset.
Oh,
Yeah.
so that's
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah,
So,
'cause it's essentially like it's the whole thing. If you're in battles, you're getting better because it doesn't want like one hit takes someone out. Generally,
so we're-
in this one,
Favoritism. We're fighting Mary Sue here.
All right. Well, I'm gonna my first move before anybody. I mean, as soon as I see that he's starting to attack us, I'm up in the rafter.
okay.
I'll just say to the guy, he does that a lot.
I'm gonna grab that Tonto.
The one he threw into.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yufuku's Tonto.
Oh, everyone gained one more story point. Yeah, 3 is the max you can have, and so usually the thing, like we reach that sort of climax of the third act, so you get that third one.
So
now.
I got 3. Dave's got 2. Paul, you have
1.
How many support points do you each have?
I have 0.
I have 2.
And also remember, depending on what you roll,
shit.
your teamwork,
Someone else's character.
your teamwork roll acts like a
Yeah, it's like a free support point.
and could even be a either that or give a story point, or do both.
Yeah. If I can roll above a 4,
Yeah.
that's something we'll see how.
Unlikely.
Okay. So we got
What are the specials for a Tonto? Not that I've ever rolled doubles except for ones.
well, so the specials with the Tonto, the thing is you may not be able to use them because they may not be in your class.
Okay.
Because certain, let me check the thing. Because certain weapons you can use, like Tonto, for example, is.
If you were covered,
Oh,
hidden,
you have Bushido?
sealed.
No, I have Kikotsu.
Yeah, actually, it is a Geikotsu weapon.
Okay.
Backstab.
And that's just it? Backstab?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the
So
same.
do lower level hits like add up over time, or is it essentially nothing?
There's occasionally they'll do stuff like this, but this one's the grand enemy where it's that one you got to get up to the 13 or more.
Yeah. So even like 10 strong hits are really just descriptive at that point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm not using the Tonto. I'm just tucking it in my belt.
Yes, our friend lost it. We're going to return it to him.
Just pick it up, I clean it off, tuck it in my belt. He can put it back when he kills us.
We're not going to make this easy for him.
All right. So first,
right now, I'm exposed. Dave is covered.
Mhm.
What about Paul?
Paul,
What
you're
about
also probably exposed. I mean, the exposed. It only really matters because there's only one foe. The big thing on those is how many people can attack you at once.
Yeah,
Like if
I'm
you're
the most exposed. I'm right in front of him.
okay. So Paul, what do you do?
I think I will wait because I might teamwork somebody that does something cool.
Okay.
I'm going to do my usual thing. I'm going to attempt to grab him with the Khashoggi thingy.
Okay.
So as I see him getting into position, then I'll use my teamwork to kind of like feint at him to distract him.
And that is a terrible.
Yeah. But just wait, because that means I can give you
+3
a
next
story
time.
point or +3 to the thing. Since if I did this right before he attacked, would the +3 forward count now?
Yeah, because
Yes.
basically you would do it. You would do it before Dave made his roll.
Okay. So
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were doing that, Paul.
yeah, so you can either have a story point or you can add 3 to what you just rolled. And since 3
Well,
is
I would have you roll again because the thing is, you decide that before it's a +3 forward, so you decide it before you can see what they've rolled.
So do you want me to re-roll?
Yeah,
I think Paul's talking about Dave can either keep his story point and add +1 to the roll, or spend his story point and add +3 to
yeah,
roll.
but he has to do that before. That's why he does it before Dave makes his roll.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll have
I
Dave re-roll.
didn't know that Paul was doing that. I misunderstood.
Yeah,
and
Paul had mentioned it, so it's fine.
Okay, I'll roll again.
So wait. So what are you taking? Are you taking the story point to get are you getting the +3 forward, or are you just getting a +1?
Are you adding another story point to your sheet? Or
yeah,
are you
I'll
gonna
take the
your
story
+3?
point. I'll take the story point.
Okay.
Is that the better choice, you think?
Well, see, it gives you the +3 forward. Like ideally, you want above a 13.
Yeah, I know.
And so the thing is also Paul could give you a support point as well.
No, I'll take the story point for later.
No, you don't take a story point. He gives you +3 forward.
Oh, for going forward. Okay.
He spends 1 story point. See, if you got
okay, yeah, I got you.
yeah, because what did you roll? What was your total, Paul?
My
It was
total-
mine was a 7. I misread that as give him a story point or +3, not I spend 1 again.
Oh, I'm sorry. You are correct. Up to 9. Move 1 of your story points to support, then give a story point to a friend, or assist a friend for +2. I'm sorry, I was looking at the 6 up to 6 for some reason. Yeah, so
I only
you
rolled
can
5.
give him a story point, or you can give him a +2, and your story point becomes support.
Yeah, I think I'll give him the story point because even a +2 isn't going to
Okay.
help him with this attack.
No, it's not.
And what'd you roll?
I rolled a 5, but do you need to roll again?
Yeah, I would roll again because that's how you make the decision on the thing.
So then I roll add 3 to that or 2?
No, you actually just add whatever your story. He gives you a story point with what he wrote.
Oh, okay.
So you get like a +1 to your story points.
Okay. Rolled a 9.
Actually, if
Plus
if
your
you
story
spend a
point?
story point,
Yeah.
it gives you a +3 back, and then if someone gives you a support,
I don't have any support.
But don't you have 3 story points now?
I have 3.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, because the roll says +1, so that would actually be a +3. So it would be
He
11.
has +2 story points, I think.
I just gave him another one though.
Yeah. So I have 3 now.
Yeah. So that would be 8 + 3. So you'd have an 11.
So if you spent one of those now, you would be over 13.
Okay, I'll do that.
So you now have 2 story points. This is getting confusing.
Yeah. All right. So, do I need to roll again, or just that
Nope.
would actually be above
Yeah.
13?
so
13.
tell me how you kill him.
Kill him. Well,
Or do we want to keep him alive and shame him? We haven't gotten to
Well-
shame him yet today. Except
no,
for
I don't want to take a chance at this guy. If we gotta have that to hit it, just to get a 13 to even hit him.
But you're tying him up.
Well, he's gonna be hanging upside down from the rafter, and then I was just gonna.
All right. You can do that.
So
guess
you're going
he'll
to
be-
slaughter him like a hung.
Gut him like a pig.
No.
Yeah, in the room itself, there's not rafters going like across. There's stuff up above,
Right.
but like
that's what I
it
mean.
doesn't like cross the room where he's at. So there's not a place to hang him from.
Oh, okay. So then I guess I'm
Hang
just
him in the doorway.
hitting him with the blade and.
Yeah, he's not something you generally go for. Like someone who knows what they're doing. You don't tend to go for a non-lethal attack
Yeah, no.
like this. Like weak enemies, that's easy to do, but the strong ones, that's how you get killed.
Right.
Yeah, and just where do you hit him that kills him?
I try to hit him in the throat.
It kind of falls and then just like hits the ground, just blood gushing out of his throat.
Does this mean we're allowed to leave now? Because he said we couldn't.
I don't think he has any control over that anymore.
I don't want to be rude.
My opinion.
What do you do?
I'm gonna go through his pockets.
Okay, he does have like a coin purse and such in there. Has got like then beyond that, not a whole lot else.
Yeah, I'm gonna. The 2 guys in the hallway, one are dead.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna grab their little band. Are they tattoos or are they like little pieces of cloth on their?
They're
uniform?
tattoos.
Okay. Then yeah, I'm gonna go find the gold that this guy owes our friend.
If neither one of you guys want his sword, I kind of like that sword. I was gonna
It's a nice sword.
take it with me. The sword from the guy I just killed.
I'm going to go make a sandwich in the kitchen.
Okay.
The thing is, it depending on what the thief would do, it's generally considered a bad thing to take a samurai sword.
Oh, he's a samurai. Okay.
Yeah.
See,
Well, he's a
But the thing-
Ronin, but still.
yeah.
Hey, you're a thief, and this is a coward who snuck in over a wall. He's not a samurai. He has no honor. He's not entitled to his sword's honor.
Yeah, but I don't want that kind of mojo. You know, I don't need that kind of bad luck. So.
And so we can probably call to a thing here shortly, so I can also get some stuff for school done here soon.
Okay.
Yeah, so like after like one of the guards, you hear one of the guards like rush in from the downstairs.
Let's get out of here.
Because the guards outside have heard some commotion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there a way to sneak out of this place?
Yep.
Me and my sandwich and this Tonto.
Yeah.
Have you guys finished pillaging yet?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
How much? I'm just gonna. I'm gonna still, if there's time, look for the amount of money that was owed to the rice merchant.
I got you a sandwich.
It's one of those things that like what's the thing is the amount of money that was owed a guy that lives like this. There's some samurai who would live well beyond their means. Essentially, the money that they have, they don't have it somewhere to give.
Oh,
It's just he keeps borrowing because if not, he can kill whoever it is, kind of out of hand. And this apparently historically became a huge problem with moneylenders and samurai. Because they're like, well, if you don't lend me this money, I'll kill you. We want the money back. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'll kill you.
Lend me the money or I'll kill you. Now, don't make me pay it back or I'll kill you.
Yeah.
Right. So mafia.
Yeah, it mentioned historically, like after not this time period, it's not that big a problem as of yet, but it definitely did become kind of a big one.
They hadn't quite figured out how to be corrupt yet.
I mean, you mentioned Republicans earlier. It just
Let's not get political anymore.
Yeah, you are able to find some money, like some money, but like not nearly enough for what he owed. Like what he owed was like a couple years worth of money. He was living way the hell above his means.
I'm sure he wants his Tonto back. I'll just make sure he gets it.
yeah, and then just a quick scan around to make sure that there's nothing that might tie any of this back to the rice merchant.
That dagger, you have a feeling, was not actually his. That Tonto?
Yeah.
The one that Mikey has?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figure it's probably Yufuku's, and he was framing Yufuku for the murder of this guy.
Yeah. And I'm looking for anything else that might, like a note from Yufuku saying, "Hey, please pay me back. My kids are starving." That kind of thing.
Yeah.
You don't have a lot of time. If you do a quick scan, you're not seeing anything in here. But as the guards like rushing through. So the big thing is going to be that the fact is, Yufuku is probably not the only person who has like with someone who owes this much. Is not going to be the only person that has like asking for them to repay money.
Okay. Well then,
Cool.
Shall we resume our naps?
Yeah. All right. Cool. Thursday, we're going to continue.
Yeah, we're good on. Like, basically, it'd be probably a secondary adventure. Everyone would get an upgrade.
Cool.
What I'll do is I will double check back through. I'm going to go back through the rule book now that we've done it once, just to make sure, see what I got right, see what I got wrong. Because most Apocalypse World games you can just kind of slot into, but this one has enough a little bit different.
I'm really digging the Apocalypse World system, and I need to plunge into it more because
I like it.
I like the way the super flexibility of it.
Yeah.
And this one's, I said, a little bit different than other ones, but like Mikey, you would love Masks.
The
Masks is fun. Yeah,
the sidekick superheroes, street level superheroes.
Well, no, it's you're not sidekicks, but you're teenage superheroes. It's like Young Justice or those. Like you're trying to become a super
academy.
Yeah, basically trying to become a superhero team, but you're still teenagers, so nobody's super confident. So people actually can affect your stats by building you up or tearing you down.
Yeah, it's like Monster Hearts with superpowers.
Yeah, actually, that's because when you get a condition, to get rid of the condition, you do something that causes drama.
Yeah,
and depending on what the condition is, but cool.
Yeah.
But I was interesting.
I want my upgrade to be that I roll 5 every time. Thursday.
Yeah, in the book, actually, on page, which I put up on that thing, on page like 209, it started. There's like basic upgrades, which is like can be just like adding stuff, but there's a whole bunch of other ones depending on combat upgrades, Bushido, and then there's one for each like Bushido, Buddhism, Daioraken. Yeah, this one's got like the thing of where you get the story points, like combat stuff. It unlike a lot of them, this is almost meant to be individual adventures, where a lot of Apocalypse World stuff is much more open.
Yeah.
It's basically designed to be like, it's not really an adventure as such, or it's a specific thing, but this one with the story points, that's kind of how that works.
You said you put that page up somewhere?
Oh no, I put the book up on the
Drive.